Hello, and welcome back to Surviving on Family Realm with me, your host, Super Daddy 13. And hopefully you guys noticed something different. Maybe I sound a little better, maybe I look a little better, snazzier. As you can tell, hopefully, I got my new computer in finally. And I am ecstatic. I've been waiting for this computer for quite some time, and to get it in now, hopefully you're going to see the video quality go up, and maybe even the audio quality is going to go up as well. So all around, you should see a much better video. Well, today we start off in spawn, just because I was grabbing a few materials for today's episode. Today we are going to have so much fun. We are going to end up building something unique, something I personally created and came up with. So that's going to be really fun. I'm going to show you guys step by step how to do it as well, so that way you can build it in your own worlds, and hopefully we have a few people that end up doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and head on over to my land now, and I will catch you guys when we get there. Alright, so over here in the distance, you'll see I've set up an area where I plan on doing some building, and what I'm going to build today is an automatically harvesting wheat farm. It's going to be resemblant of something that I saw Wattles doing, only I'm going to end up using pistons and getting a little bit more harvested that way. I'll show you what I mean. I'll probably end up linking Wattles' video in the description as well, so that way you can check out the differences and see what you like better. Mine is definitely going to be a bit more expensive, and I will show you a pretty solid list of the materials here now. This is the gist of the materials you're going to need. The redstone, I probably have a little bit more than I'm actually going to need for that, and probably a few more hoppers than I'm going to need as well. But when it comes to building blocks, you can use any different building block you so desire. I just chose these ones because I think it's going to fit well with my palette that I've currently been building in my land. So, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this step by step so that way you can build it in your lands as well. I'm going to start by getting some calcite. That's what I'm going to end up building the ring with. And you want to start by building yourself a ring that is 5 long, 4 diagonal here, and then 5 long again. And you just keep doing that all the way around until you've got yourself a nice little circle here. And from there, you want to build that platform up. However high you choose to build in your land is fine. I'm going up quite a bit because I want this to still end up fitting in with the land that I'm going to terraform. But if you choose to only go up like 4 blocks, that's okay in your lands. However high you choose to go up with this, but you want to build this ring so that way you have a nice spot to stand and work with your redstone materials. Alright, after you have built out your center area, it should look something like this. And you want to go ahead and kind of pick a spot that is going to be the first layer of where your wheat starts. And you want it to be 3 to 4 blocks below the top of your center pillar that you've started here. So as you can see, I put that block, looks like 4 blocks down. And actually, I think I want to do 3 blocks. So let me come in here and... Ooh, yeah! Master the landing. Yeah, I want to do 3 blocks, so I'm just going to put 1 more block of dirt right here. Actually, no, 4 blocks is fine. Yeah, 4 blocks. You want at least 4 blocks. That's going to be the perfect number. So, do 4 blocks in between you and the top platform, and then come around here and just do a layer of dirt all the way around here. Don't worry about filling it out yet. We're going to do that as a later step. Right now, this is just giving us a platform to walk around this, so that way you can easily put in what you need to put in here next. Perfect. So after you put in a layer of dirt, you're going to want to take out your sticky pistons and come through here. The third block from where you're going to be placing your wheat, you're going to take all of those blocks out and replace those blocks with sticky pistons. So when you place your sticky pistons, you want them to be facing down, so make certain that when you place them onto the block above so that they are facing downward. So after you're done placing, you should have something looking similar to this, where you have a platform of dirt, and then sticky pistons 2 blocks above that platform. The next step is going to be to take out this entire row here of whatever building material you placed here as well. So it's going to be the row that is right above the layer that you put all of your wheat on. So this is the layer that the water is actually going to be coming out of. But we need to go inside of here now and build a platform for it to actually come out of there. And I have kind of built a preemptive area here where I did that already, out of dirt. And this is exactly how you want it to look. So you want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across, starting at this diagonal here, 5 across here, mirroring the same outro here. And then you want to do a 3-piece triangle right here, or 3-piece L, if you will, elbow. And then you will do the same thing all the way around. And you want to get this up to that layer right there. I'll come back and show you what I mean in just a second. Alright, so once you've built it up, it should look like this. I chose to use spruce wood because you get lots of it, and this is the inside of the farm. You're never really going to see in here. So it doesn't really matter if it matches the aesthetics of the farm in this interior area. But yeah, you want to build the spruce up to this level, matching with your calcite's first layer here, and you're going to then come in and fill all this in with 1 layer of spruce blocks or whatever blocks you decide to, and then you are going to come back after you have filled all of this in, and you are going to place another layer of blocks along this back row here, so that way you do not end up losing all of your water. And I'll show you what that looks like now. So when you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. This is where all the water is going to sit, and you are going to be able to get all of your crops harvested when your water comes out of these spots. Before we continue on from this spot, it is important to build out your redstone area. So I'm going to go ahead and start building out the platform for where you will do all of your redstoning. So for this layer where you're going to place all your redstone blocks, you want to make it the same level as your pistons, your sticky pistons, and you want to make a platform that sticks out to the sticky pistons but also is going to hide all the sticky pistons, just like this. And I will come back when the finished product is in and show you exactly what I did. Alright, so once you've built a platform, it should look very similar to this. This is what we're going to end up building out. All of the pistons are covered, and then a platform here going out to the center of this. Now we're going to build out a diagonal platform, and I wanted to come back and do this on camera with you guys. So you just build out a diagonal just like this, and you should be left with a area like this that is empty. And you're going to do that on all 4 sides. The final product should look a lot like this. And now we're going to come back in and fill in another layer behind there so that you end up with an L shape or an elbow here that is completely empty with no blocks in it. Do that on each side. And that's what you got. Now we're gonna come up to this block here and place one block on each corner of this block. And now this is what we've got. From here you're gonna go ahead and count out 2 blocks, place a block here, a temporary block, and 1 block there, and then come back in here and break that temporary block. And you're gonna do this on every single side. So now that you have put those in, this is what you should have. I went and replaced that piece of dirt with some spruce because it was ugly that way. And this is what we end up with for our redstone platform. So the next stage is to go ahead and get our redstone in. So I am certainly not a redstone master. I would far from consider me anything like B-dubs or mumbo jumbo in the regards of redstone, but I came up with this myself. If you guys have something that works better in your world, by all means let me know. I'm sure some of this is kind of redundant, but it worked for me this way, so this is how I'm going to show you so that you can have it working in your worlds as well. We're going to start off by coming in here and placing redstone there and there, and I want to put a redstone comparator placing into this block as well. From there you're going to just put on another dot of redstone here and here, and then a comparator in the center. I'm sorry, I take that back, not a comparator in the center. We're going to put a comparator on either side of that redstone dot, or redstone, and then we're going to put a piece of redstone right there. Now we're going to put redstone going on the sides here, and a comparator facing into this block here, and a comparator facing into this block here. Then we're going to come in with redstone dust all along this back line and put it here as well, so that way this all connects, and you're going to do that on each side as well. So copy all of this onto each corner. So when you've got that all filled in, it should look like this. If you've done it correctly, you have redstone comparators at each of these intervals and redstone in between it all. And now you're going to come in here and fill in some redstone dust just like this, and then continue it down until it's got all of this. And that should be exactly how you want your redstone to look on every single corner. So now you have all your redstone in just like this, and I'm going to go ahead and put a redstone torch on each of these blocks right here, and one final piece of redstone dust to connect this all off. Once you've placed this piece of redstone dust here, now you have a full system. Now you're going to put one block on top of it, and make certain it's the block that you want to be showing, because from this point on, anything else that you put on top of this is going to be showing on the farm. So now that we have this platform in, we're going to go ahead and just put a lever on this right here, and we are going to turn it on. And that should fire every single piston, and we're going to go check just to make certain that it did. It does look like every piston is fired in this entire system. This means that the system is working, and you have done everything correctly if it does this. If it does not fire every piston, then you haven't set the wiring up the same way that I have. And just come back in, make certain that you've set it up exactly as you see here, and you won't have any problems. All the pistons will end up firing. But yes, this is my system right here that I ended up making, and it works really well. So we're going to go ahead and go on from here to the next step. So the next step in this farm is pretty simple. You're going to fill in some water sources. So get yourself a couple water buckets, and then you can make yourself this area filled with water pretty easily. Boom. And just keep on filling up the area with water as you go along. Fill up the entire area. All the blank spots here should have some water in it. A full water source to make certain. So now that you have all the water sources in, come back in here and just make certain that you have everything filled in that does not have a block in it. You want all this to be full sources of water, and as long as that's good, you are good. Then you want to, Then you want to come up to this top layer and build another layer of calcite, or whatever your building block is, on top of this. I think another 2 layers actually. And yes, I could have told you to build 7 layers down from the top, but I wanted this so that way you could build along and you could easily access the redstone. So now you're building another 2 layers up. This farm can get very tall. So you may want to start a lot lower than me if you're not terraforming your own land, because you can end up with a monster of a farm if you're not careful. But we've got this filled in. Now you want to fill in the rest of this floor level. And you're going to put a redstone lamp on top of these torches. And I will go into details as to why we do that here in a second. So the redstone lamps are to tell you whether this farm is on or off. When you're standing on top of this, you may have a difficult time seeing over the ledge to determine if the water is running or not. These lights right here will tell you one way or the other whether the farm is running at this particular moment or not. So that way you always know. Right now the lights are off, which means the pistons are fired. You don't have to worry about the water running, which means that the farm is off. The lights are off, the farm is off. However, when you do end up firing this and it fires all the pistons, these lights will then turn on due to these redstone lamps, which will activate, or redstone torches, which will activate and turn on the lanterns. This is a useful thing, but it is not necessary. You don't have to put this part into the farm if you don't want it, guys. I thought it was nice and useful for you, but if you don't desire it, you don't have to put it in there. It's just up to you. Alright, so this is what you got. You shouldn't need back into this farm, so you can already have this all closed off and you are good to go. From here, our next stage is actually to build out these dirt platforms. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how I do it, and you can replicate it in your worlds. Start off on this corner right here. And you're going to go ahead and just go out 4 more blocks. 2, 3, 4. So that's a grand total of 5. We're going to do the same over here. 2, 4, and 5. Oh, I'm sorry, 5. There we go. Boom. So we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Fill this in. Now we're going to come out to this corner here, go in 1, and come out 2 blocks. Do that on each side. And we're going to repeat this on every single side, every corner as we were. So once you have these platforms built like this, the next step is very simple. You are going to connect them one at a time, all the way across, just like that. And then fill this in. And do that again on every single side. And I will see you on the other side of that. So now that we've put this nice dirt skirt on our farm here, we're going to go ahead and build the second platform. And the second platform is exactly the same as the first platform. So you're going to build it 5 out this way, and then 5 out that way as well. Fill all of that in, and once again you're going to do 2 out this way and 2 out that way, and we're going to build this on every single side and then connect it and fill that in. I'll come back when that's done. Alright, after you've completed that, it's going to look a lot like this. And if you haven't been up until now, I recommend you go back and double dirt, because at some point it's going to make your life a lot easier when we are building this farm. So, the next platform is a little bit different. Basically the same build, but instead of going 5 out, we're going to go 8 total out. And this is going to be the full length of what water can flow on a block. So 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to do the 5 over here, and then follow the suit all the way out to block number 8. And you're going to fill this in just like we did before. And you are also going to do the little wings that we've been doing before. 1, 2, and 1, 2. And you're going to do this again on every single side. And then fill it in the same way that we've been filling in all of those. So, once we've got that in, I'll be back and I will show you the next steps from there. Alright, so now that you've got all that dirt in, it's going to look a lot like this. And the next stage is just to get in water sources. So that way you can put in your tilled area, tilled dirt, and not have to worry about all of your dirt turning back into dirt. When it comes to water sources, you really can put them wherever you feel like is best. I'm going to put them in very specific spots for myself. But if you feel like something would work better for you in your land, by all means, use that instead. I personally like it this way. And if I do it this way, I know for a fact that the water sources will make certain that all of the land gets hydrated. But if you have a better way that you would rather do it, by all means do it that way. I'm sure that as long as you get all the land hydrated, it's not going to matter really. But if you want to follow along, this is how I'm doing mine. So I'm going to go ahead and go out 2 here, and then I'm going to come up 2 here. Actually, just kidding. I'm going to come out 3 here and up 2 to this corner right here. And that's going to be a water source. We're going to do the same thing over here. So 1, 2, 3, up 2 to this corner. Boom. I think we'll probably do exactly the same over here. Actually, we're going to go out to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. We're going to put that water source right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And that water source is going to go right here. Actually, right here. For this one, you want to go 1, 2, 3 in and 1 out. That's your water source right there. And you'll just copy the same process. 1, 2, 3 in, 1 out. Water source here. And if you copy this all along the way, you should end up with... Oh, sorry. So, come out from this diagonal here. Do 1 water source right here. Likewise, we're going to come out and do the same thing out here. 1 water source right here. And copy that on the other side as well. And as long as you have water sources mirroring like that all across, and then do the same thing all the way across, you should be good. Once you've done that, come back, till the land, and enjoy your fruits of your labor. And it is tilling time! Tilling time! Lots of tilling. Till all the area as much as you can. Make certain that the entire thing is going to hold water. You do not want any of these crops accidentally breaking. If you copied me and did it how I did it, you will guaranteed have water sources everywhere. You guaranteed have your crops that are all moist, or you can try something else, and if you do, let me know what works for you. This was one of the best ways I could come up to get the least amount of water in here, but also have the maximum yield. So if you do find something better, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I'll come back once all of this is tilled up. And would you look at that? All of our land is getting hydrated, so we are in good shape. And before you continue on from this stage, you need to test your water. Flip this switch, you see the lights come on, that tells me that the water is on. And we need to test that the water flows all the way to the edge and that none of it falls off. If you've done this correctly, you won't see any water falling off the edge here. All of the edges here, it will have gone exactly to the edge, and then all of your items will end up just plopping off to whatever storage system that you're looking to build. Which will be the next thing that I show you, actually. I'm going to go ahead and show you the storage system that we're going to, or not the storage, but the collection system that we're going to build for this. And the collection I am going to use is a lot of hoppers, 1 million of them. The lossless collection system that I came up with was this, the hoppers. But if you are not so worried about losses, there is another collection system that I can show you as well. Especially with how large this farm is, you may not need to worry about losses. 1 or 2 collections may be all you ever need out of this farm. If you want, you can even build it out further still, just making certain that you do layers of 5 however long you want, and then the final layer has to be 8. And as long as you do that, you will end up with a massive farm that you probably only need to harvest once or twice. But the harvest system that I came up with was the hoppers for this particular version. It's not so good on servers, guys. If you are on a server with a lot of people, hoppers equal lag. So remember that, and if you can avoid lagging out your server mates, that's always the best option. So going on and continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and show you my collection system that I designed, and then we will go on from there. Alright, so this is the collection system that I'm going to use, which is just kind of an auto sorter. It's going to automatically sort out the wheat and the seeds for me, since those are the only 2 items that this farm should drop. You can pick one side of the farm that you want everything to go to, and then try to get everything going in that direction. Let's see. So the game plan here from this stage is just to make certain that there is 1 layer of hoppers at the end of every one of these. And we want that layer to go all the way around your farm. So I will come back when we're done with that and show you what to do next. There's 2 options for what to do next if you're doing it like me, and I'll show you what those are here in a second. Alright, so once you've got all those hoppers in, you can do one of 2 things. Number 1, you can extend the row of hoppers out 1, so that there's a second row of hoppers, a second layer of hoppers. This prevents any items from accidentally flowing out and over the hoppers. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is a little bit cheaper, and that's just to put a block around the edge, just like this. And you can prevent yourself from losing any items that way. But with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it an episode. We've done quite a bit, and I hope you've enjoyed it. With this being my first tutorial video, I'm sure it ran a little bit longer than some of you are used to, but hopefully you did enjoy it, and hopefully you end up using this in your worlds and getting a lot of wheat out of it. Also, shout out to Wattles and his original design that was the inspiration for all of this. And if anybody has seen anybody do anything like this before, I'm sure, just shout me out and I'll definitely give them a shout out as well. And on another unrelative note to this, shout out to Smajor and his computer. That is actually the one that I ended up getting, the one from Apex. That is my computer now, the one that Smajor set up for them, and I really enjoy it. So thank you so much, Smajor. You're awesome. And your computer is awesome. Yeah. Anyway, that's going to be all for today. So, without any more to say, I'm just going to have to say, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and we will see you all next time. Bye.